you're new here, my name's Nakya, and today I wanted to do a Money Talks video, a second part to it. Just a couple of days ago, I recorded a video telling you guys that you need to budget, you need to make a plan, you need to prepare. And this video is the second part to that, just based on what happened yesterday at my company. So yesterday, my company announced that they were doing a restructure. And for those of you not familiar, in corporate America, a restructure is just your job may be moved, your job may be eliminated. So it's pretty much layoffs. And that, I believe, ties into what I was discussing the other day about, or in the previous video, what I was discussing about having a plan, having a backup plan, and how important that is, because you never know what's going to happen. So in my previous video, I was telling you guys how important it is to have an emergency fund or to have a budget in place, because you never know what's going to happen. These companies today, I'm not sure what companies, the news channels, what they're talking about, and that there's a labor shortage, but that apparently isn't applying to every market, every business, because there are companies out here just laying people off recently. I believe if it wasn't last week, just a few days ago, Peloton had an announcement that they were laying off, I think, around 3,000 of their employees. So there may be a labor shortage, but it's not in every sector or every company in this economy. So you have to have a plan, because do you want your company to be like, oh yeah, let me give you a 1-year subscription for our bike riding service in deuces, send you on your way? No, you have bills to pay. You have probably a family that you are supporting. So you have to have another plan in place, because no one else is going to be looking out for you. That company is not going to be looking out for your best interest. They are looking out for their best interest and their stockholders' best interest. So you have to make a plan and prepare. So I wanted to give you guys 3 tips I think you need to be prepared in the event of a layoff. So tip number 1 is update your resume or your CV. Update it. Every time you get a new job, or at least annually, you should be updating your resume/CV. When was the last time you updated your resume? It was probably when you got this job 5-10 years ago. That's way outdated. You need to update it with all of the things that you've been doing in your current role. So that's tip number 1. Update your resume or CV so that you are ready to go and apply for other jobs that are available after you've gone through, your 5 stages of grieving. Isn't it 5? I'll check. But after you've gone through your grieving period, you have to go apply for jobs. So have your resume and your CV updated. Second tip is have a budget. You need to have a budget. You need to know what money is coming in, what money is going out. You don't want to be operating in the red on a monthly basis. You want to be operating in the black, have a cushion, have some money for tip number 3, which is have an emergency fund. You need to be contributing to an emergency fund for something like a layoff. It's there as your cushion, just in case a company decides, hey, we no longer need you as an employee. You have that safety net to know, hey, I have money set aside for situations like this so that I can still pay my bills. I can still pay my car insurance, my health insurance. I can still pay my rent or mortgage or my car. I can get gas. You can get to and from places that you need to get to. So whatever bills you may have, you want to make sure those are accounted for. And I guess a part A of the 3rd tip is make sure your emergency fund actually covers your expenses today. Whatever dollar amount you have set for your emergency fund, I know a lot of experts like to say, hey, let's do 3 to 6 months, but look at your 3 to 6 months. When I first started saving for an emergency fund, the amount I had in mind for 3 to 6 months of expenses is not the same 3 to 6 months of expenses that I have today because prices have gone up. So the 3 to 6 months emergency fund, like when I first started budgeting and I set out an emergency fund for a 6-month period, I have a set dollar amount that amount should have covered. However, due to inflation and prices of goods and services going up, like cable services have gone up, groceries, I'm sure you guys are aware that the prices are increasing. So because of that, when I reevaluated my emergency fund, I don't have 6 months of expenses covered. It's more like 3.5. So you have to make adjustments to your emergency fund as prices change, as your monthly budget changes, checking on it at least every 6 months to a year to see, hey, I want 6 months or a year or whatever you feel comfortable with having for your emergency fund, whatever that amount is that you feel comfortable, you have a safety net. Everybody's comfort level is different. Like me, 6 months isn't enough for me. I don't feel comfortable 6 months because it would take me time to find another job. And I want to make sure I'm covered for more than 3 to 6 months. I'm more of a comfort level, maybe 1.5 to 2 years. And not to say that it's going to take me that long to find employment somewhere else, but it's just my comfort level. I feel comfortable having that amount of money saved in my emergency fund. And I know there are people like, that's too much money. You could be investing. Look, this is what I am comfortable with. So that's what I'm going to do. But you guys do what you feel comfortable with, what your household feels comfortable with. Like, I'm a single income household, so it's only my income. I don't have a partner or a spouse that I can rely on to say, hey, if I lose my job, we still have income coming in. You guys, I just want you to be prepared just in case something unexpected happens. And I found that once I had started my emergency fund, that less things bother me when they do come up. When I need new tires or things like that, it doesn't really bother me because I know I have that safety net. I know I have money set to the side when something happens. So guys, let me know your feedback. Is there any tips you think anyone would benefit from for preparing for a layoff? Let me know, leave a comment, give me any feedback you have. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.